So let's talk about if you get a letter in the mail, maybe you get multiple letters in the mail from law firms or mediation companies saying, hey, look, you've been sued. We would like to help you. A natural question to ask is this a scam or is this legitimate? And if we dig a little deeper, we'll find out there's actually two questions to ask. Number one, is it a scam? Is it true or is it false that I've been sued? And then assume that you've been sued. We'll talk about that in a minute. But assume you've been sued. Second question, is this company that wrote me this letter, is it a scam or is it legitimate? Should I talk to them? Should I not talk to them? What should I do? And so let's talk about all of this. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer in Alabama, and I've been representing people who have been sued by debt collectors for many, many years. And I've also, for, over 2 decades now, been suing debt collectors, suing credit bureaus, and companies of that nature. So we see a lot of this out there, and there's a lot of concern, and rightfully so, about, hey, I get this letter in the mail. Is this true or is this a scam? And the reason this is a legitimate question is there are so many scams out there. I mean, you on your phone, you get an email that says, hey, I'm a princess and I've got $10 million. I want to run through your bank account, right? That's sort of the old version. There's all sorts of, phishing scams where the people are trying to get your password. And so you really have to be careful about this. So again, let's take this in sort of 2 steps. Number one, these letters are coming in saying I've been sued. Legit or not so legit? Here's a very simple way to do it. Call the court. Okay, the letter should say, hey, looks like you've been sued in Jefferson County or Shelby County or Madison County or whatever county you're in. Call the court. Hey, do you have a lawsuit against me? Now, we'll say this. You need to use your real name. Okay, so if your name is William Robert Smith, but everybody calls you Jack, don't say, hey, do you have a lawsuit in Jack Smith's name? If you've been married and your last name changed, or you're divorced and your last name has changed, you might have to give sort of both versions of it, okay? And I know it's hard because sometimes we think, oh, well, everybody knows my nickname. Well, they're just suing you in your legal name, what they think is your legal name. So you've got to do that. The letter itself may give you a case number. Call the court. Now, you may be in a place where you can look up the actual lawsuit on the online court website. In Alabama, we have a fantastic online court website. It's not really designed for free access to the public, though. Okay. And so other states are much different than that. But you can always call the clerk of the court. The clerk of the court's the person that sort of makes sure everything is organized, all the cases are there, all the documents are in the right case. And you say, hey, do you have a case filed against me? I got some letters. I just want to see if this is legitimate or not. And you always recommend don't call at 9:01 on Monday morning or at 4:59 on Friday afternoon, right? But call at 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock and understand they are understaffed and overworked, okay? So just be very, very nice. What I have found is that if you are respectful and nice to the clerk's office, they will be super helpful to you, okay? And so find out. Now, another way you could do is you take one of those letters and you contact that firm. You send them an inquiry, you call them, whatever you want to do, and say, hey, you guys say I've been sued. Send me a copy. Here's my email. Send me a copy of the lawsuit. I want to see it. And you should see in that paperwork that they send you, and I'll just tell you Alabama because that's where I practice. So it will be in the upper left-hand, well, actually, I guess it's kind of depending on how you look at it. As you're facing it, it would be in the upper right-hand sort of column or area, be a little sticker that says electronically filed, and it'll have, the county, the type of court, the case number, the date, and the exact time, like filed on April 15th, 2023 at 2:33 p.m. and 18 seconds. Okay, like that's how detailed it is. And so again, you could get that from the lawyer or whoever sent you a letter. And again, if you still have questions, you could call the court. Hey, do you have, and you read off the case number, is this actually a case filed against me? Because all you're trying to do in that first analysis is say, is this true that I've been sued? Not figuring out what we're going to do yet. Just take it one step at a time. have I actually been sued, or is this a scam? These letters coming to me. And you may get 4, 5, 6, 10 letters, okay? And a lot of these will be from bankruptcy firms. You'll have some from maybe non-lawyers writing you, lawyers saying, hey, I can defend you. So there's all sorts of ways that people will reach out to you. And all you're trying to do at first is figure out, have I actually been sued? Now, let's say that you have. If you haven't, then you can ignore that, okay? And if you have been sued and you haven't been served, you will be served, okay? But do understand, make sure you use all the versions of your name and don't assume what year the case was filed in. In other words, you might get something in the mailbox today, but it's from a lawsuit filed 2 years ago, okay? So let's assume that you've actually been sued. Second question is, well, company A or law firm B or whoever has written to me, are those companies legit or are they a scam? Because it's true that you can be sued and you can get something from a company that's a scam. Okay. So we used to have this company that they would send a letter to everybody in Alabama sued. They said, we're a professional mediation company and we work between you and the creditor and you don't need to hire a lawyer. You don't need to do this on your own. And you know what? It was a scam. Okay. I'm not saying that they were like getting your credit card number and like stealing your identity type of scam, but the service they were performing was lousy at best. Okay. So again, you truly were sued, but that wasn't the right solution. So how do you figure out, you got this whole stack of letters. How do you figure out who should I call? Who's legit? Who's not legit? Well, here's the thing. Unless you are a lawyer who's, very experienced in defending these types of cases, you can't know for sure. Okay. Just like, I may know something about medicine because I've deposed doctors in personal injury cases, but I don't know that this orthopedic doctor that I'm talking to, is she the best doctor? Does she know exactly what she's supposed to know to do the right surgery on me? I don't really know. So we use other factors to try to figure this out. We say, well, let's go check out their website. Do they have a website? That would be important. Do they have reviews? You say, well, reviews can be faked. Yeah, that's true. Okay. But probably even though we say that, we still look up things on Amazon and we look at the reviews knowing that some of those may not be legit. But you start to see a trend. Is there 2 reviews or is there 102 reviews? That can be helpful. What do the reviews say? Do they all sound alike? Like somebody just typed them up? Because I get pitched by companies like, hey, we'll, give you 100 Google reviews for $200. Well, first of all, it's unethical, but even if you did that, they would all sound the same, right? And so you want to see, do these sound legitimate? Okay. And then does this lawyer, for example, do they tell me my options? Or do they say, here's the one solution for everybody? Do they have information that they put out there? Or is everything sort of hidden behind the curtain? When you say, okay, well, I see that I've been sued. What are my options here? And they go, well, I can't tell you anything until you pay me money. Well, that ought to be a warning sign, okay? There are no great secrets in this business, okay? And do they hide that? Or do they say, look, here are your options. You can do this, you can do this. There's pros, there's cons to each one of these. Now you make a decision, okay? Have they published materials on this? Do they have videos? Do they have articles? Do they have books? What are they? Because what you're trying to do is see, okay, I know I've been sued, but is this a legit company, a legit law firm that's reached out to me in a marketing effort here? And then ultimately talk to them and see, do you get a good feeling? Is it like super high pressure? You call, you say, hey, I want to get some information about you. You've got to hire us right now. Well, obviously that's not a great sign. Okay. Is it high pressure? Is it low pressure? Do they hide everything? Do they tell you everything? Okay. So you say, well, hey, does the court show me being served? Because I've never been served. And they go, well, yeah, we can see on the court it says you were served. Well, what day? Well, we're not going to tell you that unless you hire us. Really? You're not going to tell me that? Okay, so again, you're looking for sort of clues to see, does this firm, does this company, whoever it is, do they appear to be legitimate? Do they appear to be helpful? Or do they appear to be something where just you get sort of a gut feeling like, I don't know about this place? Okay. That's what reviews are for. That's why you watch videos. That's why you read articles, and you try to get a feel for this place. And ultimately, you're going to have to sort of make an act of faith here, right? If you say, well, I think all these companies are scam, I'm doing it on my own. Or if you say, well, yes, I'm going to hire this company or that company, this law firm. I mean, ultimately, it's an act of faith because you're saying, well, I don't have perfect information, but I have enough that I'm going to take action. And that's what I would recommend you do. So again, just as a review, number one, have you actually been sued? Because if you're getting a letter that says, hey, you've been sued, you should hire us, and you haven't been sued, pretty good sign that something's wrong. Either a mistake was made in sending out that letter, or it's a scam. Okay. But you call the court, you look up on the court website, whatever you do, you figure out, yep, I've been sued. Okay. Now the next question is, you got the stack of letters, or you're finding people online, or you're watching videos or going to websites, whatever it is. And you say, okay, well, which one of these 5 or 10 or 15 companies, law firms, do I want to do business with? That's when you start looking to see reviews. Do they publish information? Do they hide information? Are they helpful? Is it high pressure, low pressure? What's going on there? So I hope that this is helpful to you. And I know it's a stressful situation to at least be told that you've been sued. And I will say this, if I should have said this probably at the beginning, you get one letter, that's it, nobody else. That would be unusual, at least in Alabama. In Alabama, typically people are getting 5 letters, 7 letters, 10 letters. Okay. It's unlikely all these places are lying about you being sued. Okay. But I would still verify it. Okay. Now remember, you can call the court, you can look it up, you can call one of these law firms, have them send you a copy of the lawsuit. If they won't do that, that would be very weird, right? They wouldn't do that. So again, have I actually been sued? And then if I've been sued, let me find the one that gives me the most confidence and the most comfort that they are going to take care of me. All right, guys. Appreciate you watching this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.